Okay, this is a quick video on the starter clutch of a DRZ 400. This one happens to be a 2005. And I'll show you quickly how it works. So this is the starter motor. You hit your electric start, this thing spins. Inside the engine cover, then this is your torque limiter. And it goes basically between there and it turns these gears. There's, if you look really closely down there, this is a clutch pack, and those, like, I don't know, 8 or so washers that are right here are concave shaped so that they apply pressure to your clutch pack. Don't take this thing apart. I took it apart not realizing that it's under extreme pressure, and it was really hard to get back together. They say that you shouldn't need to take it apart, and I bought one online on eBay for like 20 bucks or something. So it's not a new part, but it should be functional. So I put mine back together, but I don't think I'm going to use it just because I don't want to introduce any problems in there. One other thing is that inside your stator cover, the engine cover, and on the back of this here, there's a little bushing inside of here, and there's one on the inside of the cover too. So when you pull it apart, make sure that you don't lose those. Mine was missing one, and so I'm guessing that the last person that worked on this didn't realize it when they pulled it out, dropped it, and it didn't go back in, which probably caused some of my issue. Anyway, this is, so basically a starter turns your torque limiter. Torque limiter has 2 gears on it. These ones engage with the starter. This engages with the idler, or I think it's called like the second idler pulley, second idler gear, and it's just this guy right here. And so this has a post. One thing that people make, it's a little bit of a debate, but the manual shows that this washer right here goes on the outside, goes on the outside of this like that, but a lot of people say that it should probably seat up with the circlip. So I think the best way to do it is to put it on here and make sure that the washer is on the inside of that circlip right there. Okay, so this idler pulley turns this gear inside here. And what happens is it's free flowing one direction, but if I turn it the other way, it's trying to turn the whole flywheel and crankshaft. So you can see, I think it's kind of loaded down right now. But what you want to do when you get in here to see if it's working is check to make sure that it goes one way like this, but not the other way. See, I can't move it the other way, and so that's functioning properly. The other thing, I'm going to go look and I'll show you the other part. So the way that this works inside of here is that this thing is your retainer clip. Okay, so this is your retainer clip, and inside of there are all these little tiny pawls. Okay, and if you look at them, they're shaped in a certain way so that when basically they line the inside of it, and when it goes around, then it allows it to spin one direction, but as soon as the force goes on the other way, then they twist and they bind up on that. And that's how it's meant to work. But when you get it out, inspect it, because you can see, try to get a good view here, you can see how worn this is. There's like scoring right there, and it wore unevenly both on that side and on this back side. See that? That's supposed to be a smooth curve. There's a flat spot that's worn in a kind of tapered way there. So if you look at it and they look like they're all crowned and nice continuous curve, then you're probably all right. But if you look close and you see that there's scoring like that, or it's flattened off, you probably need to replace it. So that engages with the gear. Let me see, where did I put my other gear? Oh, here's the other gear. And the other thing to look for on this, so this is that idler gear that I was turning inside there. This is the bad one that I'm replacing. But if you look in here on this surface, right here, this surface, see how there's like some marks that are like scored into it? That's bad. And that's where these little pawls ride on. So basically these pawls sit in between here and this outer race, something like that. And so, you know, it has the retainer clip holds them all together, and there's a spring around that. But basically where this pawl is riding, that's where it gouged. And then also on the inside of this third piece, you can see scoring around that too. So see all that scoring? That should just be a nice flat surface. What happened with mine is that it was just bound up. So when I would try to start it, it wasn't allowing it to free spin once the motor started. And that's a problem, of course. So I'm hoping that once I get mine back together, it seems to be spinning smoothly, and it's going to fix the issue that I was having.